So welcome to class 2, the second class of ecosystems. Let's talk now about the different relationships between different living things in each ecosystem, okay? So as we can see over here, we're going to talk about food chain. Chain in Spanish is cadena. Okay, so it's like one living thing eat another living thing, eat another living thing, eat another living thing. Okay, so here, for example, we have a food chain, a typical food chain that could be in the forest, for example. We have a producer that it's the grass. Remember producers, consumers, decomposers. Okay, in last class 1. Okay, so the grass that it's a plant, it's a producer, okay, because it lives with the sun and the water, the soil, okay, it doesn't need another living thing to live. Now, we have the grasshopper, for example, that eats the grass, and then the frog eats the grasshopper. The snake eats the frog, and here the hawk, el halcón, the hawk eats the snake. Those are the consumers. Yes, we have an order also, because it's like the primary consumer has to operate because it's the first one. Then the secondary consumer because it eats the primary consumer. Tertiary consumer because it eats the secondary consumer, and then the final consumer is the hawk because, well, usually there's not another animal that eats a hawk, ¿no? Podríamos decir que no hay ningún otro animal que se coma este último. Cuando ya es el último, it's the final consumer. Finally, we have the decomposer. ¿Por qué? Porque podréis decir, bueno, pero este es el final, claro, because the final is the decomposer. Okay, it's always the decomposer. ¿Vale? And then when the decomposer creates some substances and nutrients for the producer, como vimos en el first class. Okay, these living things eat each other. Okay, so this is the food chain. This is a relationship between these living things. Okay, como ves, son living things, no son just animals, que siempre animals, que sí, la mayoría, bueno, pues grasshopper, frog, snake, and hawk son animals, pero the producer and the decomposer in here, they're not animals. Okay, this is a food chain. Okay, living things eating each other. Okay, in order with producer, primary, secondary, tertiary. No tiene por qué haber tertiary. Puede haber, for example, primary, secondary, and final. Por ejemplo, ¿vale? En una food chain que sea un poquito más corta. Okay, that's okay. Now, let's see another type of relationship between animals. We have a food web. Food web, it's not in order, ¿vale? No está ordenado tal cual, sino que es this living thing, it's this one, it's this one, but this one, it's eaten by this one, this one. It's like web es una red in Spanish, okay? So there are a lot of relationships. For example, here, the eagle eats the thrush, it's the frog, it's the rat, okay, it's the snake. So these arrows are like eaten by, ¿vale? Estas arrows, estas flechas dicen, este animal es comido por este, ¿vale? Por eso señala, for example, the rat, it's eaten by the python, que es una pitón, ¿no? Un snake. It's eaten by the wolf, it's eaten by the eagle, ¿vale? Es decir, es comido por, ¿vale? Entonces, this is for example, dragonfly, ¿no? Una libélula, dragonfly. It's eaten by the thrush, it's eaten by the frog, the butterfly, the fruit fly, well, okay? And then, here are the producers, ¿no? Que decíamos antes. Lavender, it's eaten by the butterfly. Flowering plant is eaten by the butterfly. Fruit fly, eats mangoes. The eagle, entonces, eats thrush, eats frogs. The wolf eats thrush also, eats rats, ¿vale? Eats pythons, well, maybe, ¿no? We don't know. A wolf eating a snake? Well, could be, ¿no? Could be. Okay, so this is a food web. Food web es una red alimenticia, o alimentaria, where all the living things eating different things. Es decir, como la de antes, it's not just like one living thing eating another living thing. No, here it's one living thing eating 3 types of living things, then this living thing eats another 4 living things. So it's not just like one living thing eating one living thing, okay? En la realidad, there's a food web, usually, no? Because food web, it's in a forest or in the jungle. It's not that just, for example, the lion eats only gazelles. No, the lion eats gazelles, zebras, buffaloes, maybe. Okay. Then the elephant eats grass, but it's trees, but it's so many different things. So it's more like a food web in reality, but we can also talk about food chains. Then finally, to finish with this class, we're going to talk about ecological balance. Ecological balance means that we as human beings, we are making changes in the environment, changes that are usually not very good, but changes that could be good. Okay, changes like cutting all the trees, or vice versa, no? We could talk about planting so many trees. Entonces, depending on the actions we do, we are like taking care of the environment or not, or we are destroying the environment. Depende de las acciones que hagamos, estamos destruyendo el medio ambiente o lo estamos cuidando. This means the ecological balance, no? Making new cities, new buildings means that we are going to cut all the forest, and when we burn, we throw tins, cans on the forest or in the sea, we are not taking care of the environment. We are destroying it, no? That's why the ecological balance means changes in the environment, como hemos dicho, puede ser causado por humans. It can be caused by humans, usually, no? A veces hay changes that there are alone, but usually human beings, no? And también podemos hablar de extinction of species cuando cazamos por encima de las posibilidades, ¿no? Demasiado. We are hunting animals and hunting, and there is no more of that type of animal, no? For example, the bear, no sé si habéis oído hablar del oso grizzly bear. It's a bear that it was originated in California and in the south of America. And not South of America, south of North America. It's like Mexico and United States. And this grizzly bear, it was like very, very, very they hunt all types of this grizzly bear. And finally, it's the bear that it's in the California flag. The California flag, la bandera de California, there is a bear, and that's a grizzly bear, but they're not more anymore. They're not anymore grizzly bears, ¿no? Entonces, bueno, se ha extinguido el grizzly bear. And components of the ecosystem, ¿no? Los diferentes componentes del ecosystem. Con eso se consigue un balance, ¿no? Between the pollution, or we can plant also new trees, or we can take care of the animals, ¿no? Depende de las actions que hagamos, pues la balanza esta que veis muy bien in the picture, between taking care of the nature, or producing pollution, and bueno, pues podemos equilibrarlo, ¿no? Balance. So this was the second class. Hope you liked it and you understood, and see you on the next class.